Let's talk about the cost of the violence. I mean, there's so many ways in which people are suffering after the looting this week. Smaller businesses may be suffering the most. One person who has lost, well, hopefully not her livelihood, but who's going to battle to recover, I think, is Thandi Johnson. She's the owner of a small shop that was looted in Diepkloof. It's called TWJ Event Supplies. Thandi, good afternoon to you, and I know you've had just the most awful week. Thank you for speaking to us. I know it's not easy. What happened to your shop this week?
Good afternoon, Steve, and I appreciate the time.
Of course. What happened to your shop this week? I mean, you were working as normal. You had full of stock. What happened after that?
Well, what happened before the stock was off the shelves and out of the shop is that on Monday, around about 10, I had to let the staff go home because the shops were closing because of a possible threat. And then around about 12, I was told, because everybody, we all went home. And then I was told that there's people already in the square, in the center. And the demolitions and all breakdowns and destruction started around about 4:30 until the following day. And then when I went in the morning, I thought it's something that I'll be able to cope with, but unfortunately it was just way too much. I got there was nothing left. Whatever was left is just the next stuff that cannot be reused. Yeah, and that's what happened.
Thandi, it must have just been so awful and so hard for you to go in there and see that. I can't imagine how you felt. And you'd worked so hard to get it there. You'd worked so hard to get the store up and running.
Yeah, I mean, the business is 12 years old. And everything just disappeared in one day.
Oh, Thandi.
So it was very difficult, I must say.
Oh.
But I feel better. I feel better today because of the love and support of international support, people that I know, some I don't know, and their contribution towards the rebuilding of the business gave me hope. So I believe that I can be able to rise up again.
I mean,
people have been very kind.
We look at your store. I mean, we were looking at it on TV now, and we can see what happened, and I can't imagine how you felt. And I mean, this has implications for people you employed. It has implications for your family, for your son. I mean, it just, you know, I suppose the question really is, you know, do you think you'll be able to recover and get something going again? And I don't know what relationships are going to be like after all of this, because I think some people are going to be very angry, some people are going to be very upset, and some people just want everything back. You just want it like it was before.
Yeah, well, look, with all the fixing and rebuilding, I don't think it will ever go back. It will never be the same because of the trust that was broken and the fear that will always walk around, because I still believe that this can happen again. So I don't know how long it's going to affect us, all the people that were negatively impacted. I don't know. I mean, there will be post-traumatic stress, I'm sure.
Yes.
But, yeah, I mean, you giving me a platform and explaining the situation of the business does help. And people have been very kind and generous, and I appreciate that.
It's about healing. It's about knowing that we need to give ourselves time to grieve, Thandi, and I think you're doing that. I mean, you're doing that so well, and you're able to talk about it. I don't know if I would be able to do. I mean, you actually in the past have also been a health worker, and I mean, you look at what's happened over the last few days. You must know so many people who haven't been able to get to work in the middle of the third wave of COVID-19. I mean, it just shows you what is happening in our society at the moment, and you are just someone stuck in the middle of that.
Yeah, COVID is not helping the situation, I have to be honest, because the sad part is that with all this destruction, it's just a chain. So many things are directly and indirectly affected. I have a friend who is a nursing sister. She was telling me that they are battling to get to work. Now, these are health workers during the pandemic. They are unable to go to work. Some hospital services are destroyed. People can't get vaccines. It's uncalled for, honestly. This is that we can only deal with one situation at a time. But now with all these, and we still have to go back to our families, you can only take so much as a human being. But right now, it's just too much. And I think it's too much for everybody. You know, because now people are sitting with fears that will there be food, will there be petrol, will there be this, will there be that? And this anxiety is just unnecessary, you know. But hopefully, community people are learning from areas like, for example, Pimville, where the community is standing united and they made sure that they protect the structures that they strongly believe are there to serve them. So hopefully it sets an example to the communities that have not been affected yet, that united we stand and divided you fall like we fell. So I'm sure this is a tenable situation, and all of us have to try and pick up the pieces. And those that haven't started, don't even think about it. It is the most hurtful, devastating, and it's going to have a long-term effect to a lot of people. We already are having too many people dying of COVID. And can you imagine now when there is no income? What are we supposed to do? I mean, we are parents. You know, we have got overhead. We have policies that we cannot afford to miss, like a burial. If I die now, it's just stress for my family that is unnecessary. We can't pay our overhead. What's supposed to happen now? Must houses be repossessed, cars taken back, just because of people that just don't want to think? It's not fair. It is not fair.
Thandi, you've described what's happening in our society, I think, so well, so emotionally and so honestly. I want to thank you for having the strength to talk to us on Newsfeed this afternoon and to share your story. And as she says, you know, what we've seen this week, in her words, so unnecessary in the middle of COVID-19 and the huge financial stress, which really does keep you up at night because of this situation. Thandi Johnson, thank you.